The balloons were in their time the most significant invention on flying devices of the human being. Its importance lay in the fact of the impossibility that the men have to rise from the surface of the earth and to move traveling through the air. Many balloons had a basket for carrying people or equipment. One of the most characteristic inventions of the 20th century has undoubtedly been the automobile. The first prototypes were created in the late, but this was only a decade after it became something like useful. The attempt to obtain a driving force to replace the horses dates back to the 17th century. The car records the three phases of the average means of propulsion: steam, electricity, and gasoline.
It is almost impossible to indicate the exact date on which the steamships arose, being the first known attempts between the 17th and 18th centuries. However, the invention of the steamboat is attributed to John Fitch in 1787, who presented a small boat with shovels on the sides that provoked the scorn of those present. Later, in 1790s, he presented a new version of the steamer that could move people. The lack of safety measures for this type of vessel and the new technological advances meant that this type of ships began to disappear in the 1960s. Nowadays, the preserved steamboats are used mainly for tourist purposes. For example, in New Orleans, cruises continue to Mississippi River in 19th century boats. In 1869, solid rubber tires mounted on steel were introduced into Britain, and the bicycle was the first to be patented under the modern bicycle name. Then, for 1873, James Starley, an English inventor, produced the first machine with almost all the characteristics of the famous common bicycle or high wheel. The front wheel of Starley's machine was 3 times bigger than the one on the back. The modifications and improvements in the following 15 years included the ball bearing and the tire. These inventions, together with the use of welded steel tubes and spring seats, brought the bicycle to the peak of its development. However, the excessive vibration and instability of the high-wheel bicycle forced the inventors to endeavor to reduce the height of the bicycle.
Public transport or common transport is a term applied to the collective transport of passengers. Unlike private transport, public transport travelers have to adapt to the schedule and routes offered by the operator. Usually, travelers share the means of transport, and the different units are available to the general public. It includes various means, such as the buses, taxis, trolleybus, trams, trains, suburban railways, and ferries. The car arrived to facilitate the circulation and reduce the time and give us something of comfort. The invention and the creation of the automobile has been and is, in fact, a priority in your lives today. The automobile industry processes automobiles to help in the movement of our day-to-day lives and a property of great importance and necessity. The car today is a symbol for many theory of necessity.
Volkswagen one day changed its signature slogan from "Taos Auto" to "Taos Automation." Its name is Cedric, an animation of self-driving car. The square and the square of the electric vehicle promises to remove human beings from the driving process completely. The Cedric houses its battery pack in the floor and mounts an electric motor at the wheel level. So, it's just about shaping launch inside. Controls don't include and a steering wheel of pedals, just a button on the summit of the car. The people can communicate their destination via voice command or phone app. The science behind the promises remain fuzzy, although the concept was to take a pass part of the product strategy to catapult Volkswagen beyond its diesel cheating scandal by 2025. They are not defining timeline for the production version of the Cedric will arrive.